is Dr. Sarah Zanette, and I'm a new faculty member here at Luther. And I'm a developmental psychologist, and my research focuses on improving our understanding of deception in childhood. So things like lying and cheating, and how can we apply this knowledge to real world contexts? So things like parenting to education, clinical treatment, and legal and forensic contexts. So I look at questions like, how do children learn how to tell lies? And how do they learn when to lie or when to tell the truth? How do they learn the social rules that govern our deceptive behavior? I also look at what are different social or situational factors can promote honesty in childhood, and whether children's lies can be reliably detected. So my goal for today is to share some of the research that's been conducted on this topic and what we know about lying in childhood. So in this lecture, we're going to talk about when do children start to lie? Are they good lie tellers? How do they understand lying as right or wrong? And how can we promote honest behavior in childhood? So to start us off today, we'll take a look at a couple short videos. Hopefully the audio will work.
Noel, who drew on Mummy's mirror?
I don't know.
Was it you?
No.
Who was it?
It's Batman. Batman.
Batman did it.
Hey Jack, did you eat a cupcake?
No.
You didn't eat a cupcake?
No, I wasn't at home.
You sure you didn't eat a cupcake?
No.
I thought you maybe had a cupcake.
No.
No?
No.
Definitely not?
No.
Not like in the last couple minutes?
No.
No cupcake for Jack?
No.
Oh, okay.
So as you can see, children start lying from a very young age, and they can start lying from as early as age 2. But their early lies are often clumsy and not very believable. In Jack's case here, he claims that he didn't eat a cupcake, but his face is covered in blue frosting, which kind of gives them away. So kids are really poor at telling lies once they're around 2 and 3 years old, but they get better. Now, researchers' interest in children's lying dates all the way back to Charles Darwin's own observations of his young son lying. So it was back in the late 1800s. But systematic research on children's lying didn't really take off until the past few decades or so. So there are many different ways that we can examine children's lying. And in the lab, the most common technique that we use to directly observe children lying is known as the temptation resistance paradigm. So there are several versions of this paradigm, but they all involve tempting the child to perform some sort of transgression or misbehavior. And then we question them to see if they're going to be honest about it or if they're going to lie about it. So in the classic temptation resistance paradigm, a child plays a guessing game with an experimenter, where the child has to guess the identity of a toy that was placed behind their back. And they have to listen to the sound and make a guess for the toy. So for example, the experimenter might put a rubber duck on the table that says quack, quack. Then the child will then guess the identity of the toy to be a duck. But after playing this game for a couple rounds, the experimenter is then going to tell the child that, if they win the next round, they'll get a prize. But right on that final round, the game gets interrupted and the experimenter's phone rings in the next room. So the experimenter says they've got to go answer the phone. But before they do that, they tell the child that they're going to leave the toy on the table with the sound playing, and the child can make the guess when they get back. So the child is told not to peek at the toy, and then the experimenter will leave the room. Now, the child is left alone with the toy, but the sound playing is the alphabet song, which doesn't tell us what the toy is. And so the child is sitting alone with that toy and gets really tempted to peek at that toy so they can guess correctly and win that prize. And in fact, most children will peek in this situation. But what they don't know is that we have hidden cameras in the room to capture if they peek. So now the critical question is, what will children do when the experimenter comes back and asks them, when I was gone, did you peek at the toy? Will children lie or will they confess? And what research has shown is that 2-year-olds are quite honest, with only about 30% of them telling a lie, and 70% will tell the truth, and they'll confess to their misbehavior. At 3-year-olds old, we get 55% of kids who will lie, and 45% will tell the truth. At 4 years old, 75% will lie. And at 5 years old, 80% will lie. And then this high rate of lying continues throughout childhood. So as you can see, lying really is a normal part of typical development. Now, lies told in situations like I just described, these are called antisocial lies. Antisocial lying refers to lies that are told to conceal a transgression or a misbehavior, like breaking an object or writing on the walls or cheating on the test, something that you weren't supposed to do. Now, these lies are self-serving and they're discouraged by parents and by society as a whole. However, not all lies are considered bad. Prosocial lies are lies told to be polite or to spare someone else's feelings. So these lies are generally accepted in society or even encouraged. So for example, if someone gives you a gift you don't like underwear maybe, it's often considered to be more socially acceptable to lie and claim that you like the gift instead of tell the truth and risk hurting their feelings. And the ability to tell prosocial lies is important. It's an important social tool. It helps us stop from hurting other people, from putting some unnecessary tension in a relationship, and it helps us maintain politeness. Now, prosocial lies can be measured in many ways, but a popular technique is using the disappointing gift paradigm. So in this paradigm, the child first sorts between gifts that they like and ones that they dislike. And at the end of the session, the child is given the disliked item, which is usually soap. And then the child is asked, do you like your gift? And so here, the child has the choice. They can either be honest and say they don't like the gift, or they can lie and pretend to like it. And studies have shown that just like antisocial lies, children start telling prosocial lies from a really young age. So one study by Toddlers and colleagues found that 72% of preschool-age children, so 3 to 5-year-olds, they'll tell a prosocial lie when they get a gift that they don't like. And this high rate continues throughout elementary school.